and welcome to the City of Sydney's Reboot series for 2024. Welcome back, welcome back. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional owners of the land, and I want to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging, as well as acknowledging that we're all here today on different lands. So I wanted to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land from wherever you're joining us this afternoon. I'm Tracy Hamilton of the innovation consultancy Disruptors Co, and I'm delighted to be hosting this series, brought to you today by the City of Sydney and supported by the team at Service New South Wales Business Connect. So at the opening of the show, you would have heard me say welcome back. The Reboot 2024 is yet another in the annual series that the city originally developed to help support businesses to recover and rebuild, engage and grow customers and revenue in response to the pandemic. And here we are, 4 years on, still helping businesses, but we're really digging in this year on really focusing our efforts on topics that are important to small business and helping you with innovation and growth and understanding of new technologies. And we're excited to bring you a bit of an optimization this year as well. So you're still going to see the same awesome expert speakers on our stages on a weekly basis, but we've also started to dig in, and you're going to find the nature of Reboot has a learning element, a learn-along element. So not just listening and being inspired, but also giving you practical steps every week. And we know lots of you have tuned in to hear people like Emma LaRosso speak about growing digital channels, Kelly Slessor on e-com. I heard lots of you loved Izzy Whitlock last week with Gav on AI. So needless to say, we're grateful that you're tuning in on a regular basis. And today, we're almost at the halfway mark. So there's 9 episodes in total. Every Tuesday at this time between 12 and 1, we're going to be here for the next few weeks. And there's also catch-up viewing too. So if you missed any of the previous episodes, there is Reboot on demand, and you can go back and watch as many times as you need. Follow in those worksheets and off you go. So the series has been organized into the 3 stages. Run, which was the last 3 episodes. We're now in the middle. This is called Grow, and it's about early and medium-term growth of business. And finally, in a few weeks' time, we're going to move into Adapt, and that's about the skills you're going to need to really navigate and adapt to change while you run a business. So each session is going to be anchored by an incredible Australian business and thought leader. And so today I'm going to be welcoming business and retail strategist Nancy Georges to share her insight into the changing customer dynamics and how you're going to win. Now, before I pass over to Nancy, just a few points of admin. If you're wondering, we are recording the event and you will receive an email summary a few days after viewing. And we will be opening the session for some Q&A at the end of today's webinar. So please capture your questions and drop it into the Q&A for us. And at the very end, I will be asking for some feedback because we are lifelong learners and we love getting feedback from you, the viewers. So before I officially hand over to Nancy for her awesome session on retail, you also will have the Learn Along worksheet that I spoke about. So if you received that in this morning's invitation, please grab it and download it. If not, you will have a chance after today's webinar, and it just helps us document any insights that we get. Get your paper out, get your lunch out, and I look forward to learning with you. So welcome to the session. We know that every business owner really is hungry to understand how the customer experience landscape is evolving, and particularly over the last few years, we've seen things really change. So I'm excited to welcome renowned retail expert and friend of Disruptors, Nancy Georges, to share her insights into modern retail strategies that cater to the empowered customer. Welcome to the stage, Nancy.
Thanks, Tracy. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is so much. It's an honor to be part of a sensible, clever webinar series. I wanted to also welcome you all to actually opening your minds to doing this because it's such a big thing. So just quickly, this is my snapshot. You'll find all my links on my website, but I just want to give you a little bit of a background. I started in retail. I was a management cadet at Grace Brothers, which is now Myer. So my retail learning is straight down into the ground shop floor retail, but with a management focus on customers. Back then, we used to focus on customers. I don't think they do that so much. I'm a shopper, of course. I'm a marketer. I have a marketing degree, which I did at the same time as a cadetship. I've designed my own ranges, imported and exported them. I've wholesaled them. I've made them. I've consulted to businesses overseas. And now I'm actually working with local businesses. I do a little bit of international work and get to speak and go to trade fairs and really connect with a lot of businesses. So this is a really exciting time for retail. I just want to really talk about the retails of fundamentals, the fundamentals of retail, sorry. So today's customer expectation is this. So we really need to understand this as retailers. Our customers expect to talk to something and it happens. So this is who we talk to today. And of course, they expect to shop everywhere. So customers want to shop whenever, however, wherever, whatever they want to buy, whether it is from you or what somebody else. So if you aren't telling them what you have and how you can connect with them and sell to them, then you're going to miss out on this customer. You need to be where they are. Next one. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, so the big thing is that we've got to do is, as retailers, is inspire your customers. If you connect with customers, inspire them, connect with them, talk to them, talk back to them, they will come to you. And this is the big thing that has changed for retailers. So this is just a little vignette of the Galeries Lafayette in Paris. They painted a whole lot of cool things. The next slide, you'll see that as well, is that they've painted a whole lot of really cool things. They've color blocked them, and every window along, like 8 windows, look like this. It was clever, made people stop. So easy to do, so easy to get into it. You can get creative, have the same 6 things and paint them different colors, or you can get, there's so many different ways. We can't go deep today, guys, so I just want to give you a whole heap of things that can get you excited and connected to the idea of just getting a little bit reinvigorated. So by inspiration too, we don't have to do big things if you don't have budget or time. Look at this. This is Aesop. It's a beautiful skincare Australian range. They just put I love the simplicity of this picture on the left of the gardenia pot in the window. Like, yum, right? It makes you stop just to go, oh, isn't that pretty? And then, oh, I'm at Aesop. So it doesn't need to be super complicated. The other video is the Ralph Lauren store in Milan, which of course has to be divine, right? I didn't want to load the video in to waste time, but you can see this in my Instagram stories. I've loaded it so you can see it. It's just literally the whole shop front is flower blooms, like just yum, 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 getting into the senses. Now, there's other ways that you can do it too, right? Is to be a bit fun and cheeky, which doesn't have to be too much product related. And you've probably seen these everywhere. You know, the wings on the wall where you stand in the middle and then you can have your little angel picture. That's me and my doggy Herbie on the right. Hopefully you don't hear him during this presentation. But I just really like this idea of really engaging. So on the left, we went to Mudgee and that, so you can see that's from 2016, right? And it's still there because it's clever. Hippie Luxe is in Picton, which is, oh my God, I can't even tell you the last pictures from there. I love that little shop. It has a million things in it, but it's just really cute. So I just wanted to show you how you can sort of get out of your head and out of your shop to inspire your customers. And we want to talk about these things today: retail fundamentals, the empowered connected customer. You know that this customer has been around because I've been talking about it for over 10 years now, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky to think about how to hook them in. We want to get a little bit of a shift in thinking, give you some actions, and then it's your move. Fundamentals haven't changed. Retail fundamentals. We have a seller, we have a buyer. That hasn't changed. What has changed is now that the buyer, which you'll see in the next, is that the buyer is this person here. The buyer works. So where store is, you can change that to the customer, consumer. You can change also to the store. So the store has to operate website, bricks and mortar, catalogs, mobile, kiosk, social media, right? That's all the spaces that you have to operate in. And then inversely, the customer gets to live in that space too and access you website, bricks and mortar, catalogs, mobile, kiosks. So kiosk is pop-ups, right? So it's same. And social media. So this is called omni-channel. I don't use a lot of big tech words because we're all normal people. We can use regular people words, but this is our omni-channel marketplace. So you have to have little tentacles in all of them, in all the places. So this is yesterday's marketplace. Retailers, we used to be able to say to customers, hey, this is what I've got. Come over here, have a look. But that's gone. This is the new marketplace. We don't broadcast to customers anymore. We don't broadcast to the marketplace. We listen. And this is really, see, big listening ears. So important. And this is the thing that we need to do. Listen and act. No longer come here, come here, come here. Communication, connection, and trust are not new. So the physical connection, the physical way that we react and connect to retailers and brands is not different. So if I'm talking about myself from a customer point of view, I still like all the same things. Clever retailers, I'm a big independent retail fan, good product. That's not new. Trust is so important. It's a physical basic thing, right? None of this is digital, not new. But the way we connect to people are. So chalkboards are the vintage Twitter. So do you remember we used to have chalkboards everywhere? That's Twitter. That's exactly what Twitter is, or Instagram. Come and look at this. Come and have a look at this. This is what I'm doing. So communication isn't changed. How we communicate and the more ways we can do it. This was in Williamsburg. A friend of mine sent me this picture years ago, and I love it because my friends always send me great pictures. Fundamentals are the same. And this is your big thing. I love customer service. Please, please, please print this out, put it on your wall. It's all about the customer. If your focus is, I love customer service, what do I need to do? I want to serve my customers, what do I need to do? What do I need to buy? Who do I need to ask? If that's your focus, then you're instantly going to get into the right frame of mind. Customer service, customer focused. I'm not a big fan of going, customer, indenture. Somebody said that to me. Just it's customer service. Simple, simple. I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys. The big thing is exceptional customer service always. Not on Mondays, not on Fridays, not when this range, not in store, but not online. It's always. So we talked about omni-channel, exceptional customer service everywhere. And exceptional customer service comes in before, during, and after the sale. So yes, you've got to provide it to get them in. Yes, you've got to provide it to get them to buy, but please give that exceptional customer service at the end, after they've purchased. So that keeps you connected. Forget the tech. Use it as one of the tools to achieve your objectives. Forget the tech. Just think about, okay, I've got a new range. What do I need to do? I've got a new service. What do I need to do? Okay, I've got to put it on my in-store. I've got it. I'm going to take a photo, put it on my website. Then I'm going to share it through my socials. Might put it in my email campaign. Might ask people if they like the story. Let's see, get some feedback. Customer likes this. I'm going to change that picture based on what the customer says. So you can see all we're doing is using the tech to do what we do as retailers. Don't get bogged down to, oh my God, how do you do this? Figure out what you want to do and then go, okay, I'm going to load a picture and see. Take your steps. So forget the tech as a stress and a block. It's all about the experience. The thing that I really want, have a look at this. So if you don't know Victor Churchill, you will now. Victor Churchill is a butcher. Does this look like a butcher store to you guys? Doesn't, does it? This is an absolutely beautiful butcher store. It's in Woollahra in Sydney. I think they've got another store now, but the big thing that I always come back to with Victor Churchill is that they were featured in Lux City Guides. A butcher, Lux City Guides. Normally you would see Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Sass & Bide, Zimmermann, they're in Lux City Guides. Ralph Lauren that we just saw. You don't see a butcher. So you can see that you can inspire and connect to customers in such different ways if you are the craftsman and you are the ultimately skilled retailer. So good manners always. So this is the other thing. This is an extension of exceptional customer service, right? Good manners always. Treat the customer like a guest in your home. You welcome them. Can I get you a coffee? What do you want to eat? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? You're constantly checking in with them and assessing and making them feel comfortable and wanted. This whole thing of I get somebody with attitude the minute I walk into a store. It's no longer my only choice. I'm going to leave. I get somebody who tells me what I should buy. Not interested. Out. And that always comes back to manners. It's just simple manners. It's not any magic tool. It's about making somebody feel comfortable in your store. And it's personal, right? So I expect now my favorite stores to know what I like, what I've ordered, who I am, what do I like to do. Now, the big thing is that digital tools have made personalization easy. We know that because we get our emails that say, hey, Nancy, how you going? You forgot this in your cart. I love that. I still love that. I still get a little bit buzz from that sometimes. We also get emails that say, you ordered this last time, this is due, probably due now. We also get emails that go, if you like this, you're going to like this. Email straight into my inbox, and they're personalized. But don't get, oh my God, I can't do that. How am I going to do that? It's okay. Just make sure that your customer knows you know them. Touch base with them, and then you will build up that relationship. A good retailer does know their regular customers, sure, but also a good retailer knows what their customer group is doing. So bring these elements into what you're doing. That if you know that customers are getting an email that is personalized to them, or a shopping experience, or their phone buzzes, or an app knows them, then try and replicate that in your own physical space when you go in your communication with your customer. So make it that personal is so, so important, guys. Please focus on personal. Go the extra mile. Remember that doing that extra little thing, don't make your customer do all the hard work, because they won't do it anymore. So I just want to give you a quick little example. One of my first departments to manage was in Grace Brothers was menswear. So me, and I was like 19. But menswear, and we had a lot of customers who had, they all liked their certain shirts. Back then it was a Van Heusen shirt. So they used to buy, we used to have customers that came in all the time to buy regular things, and we had staples back then. So it was very simple. One of my customers came in and we didn't have her husband's size, and they needed it. He was going away or for a wedding or something. So one of my staff members said, hey, Nancy, they've got it at David Jones. We got money. Oh, no. Can't do this now probably, but got money out of the register, ran around to David Jones, bought it, and then sold it to her because she wanted it on her Grace Brothers card. She also wanted to buy it from us because she didn't want to go to David Jones. So there's little things like this that you can do for your customer that if I can't find, I don't have it, I'll find it. People don't say that anymore. I remember when that was just the norm. Don't worry, Nance, I'll get back to you, or let me know, call me. Even if people said to me, call me back, they normally found it for me. It doesn't happen anymore. Don't get bogged down into this is all I've got to sell. Focus on, remember what I said? I love customer service. Go the extra mile. And it is the little things. It's the little things in the world with your customer interaction. So in a digital world, physical contact doesn't exist, right? So if you're going to make the difference is go, okay, what can I do with the customer that's in the front of me? Can I put a little bit of extra thing in their bag? Can I gift wrap for them? Can I give them a little voucher for the next time that they come in? Can I take a picture of them to put into my socials? All these things are things that I can't do with my phone. My phone won't go, hey, Nance, great hair. Can I take a picture? Or my phone won't say, oh my God, that looks so good on you. Can I take a picture for my social media pages? Or it doesn't say, hey, we're going to put these, if these end up, I know you decided to buy one, but you wanted to buy two. If that goes on sale, I'll give you a call when the sale goes in, or I'll put your name down. My phone doesn't say that to me, but a human in front of me does. So just think about the little things that you can do, that you can add. Somebody buys $300 worth of candlesticks. Give them some candles. Like, it's just little things like that computers don't do, that people do, that are connected. And remember too, retail, it's instantaneous. I come in, I buy from you. I don't have to wait. I don't have to have Australia Post mess me around and put a card in, and then I got to go to the post office. I've got a queue, then I got to unpack, and I've got all this packaging. So talk about that. Talk about all those things that you give to the customer that my phone, my laptop doesn't give me. Tell the customers, this is my big bugbears. I am that person where I message some people in social and go, what is your address? What times are you open? My God, how simple is it? But tell customers where you are, when you are open, and how to connect with you. People do not go, oh, I've got to go find their number, I'm going to go to Google. Tell me where you are. If you have a physical space, put your address on every single social page. Put it at the top of your website. The good thing, the other side of that, besides like good manners, right? Talked about good manners, good customer service, is that Google likes when addresses and phone numbers and all roads lead to breadcrumb to the store. So it will show you more love if you use more of the tools. So please tell customers where you are. So important. And this is the other big thing that I suppose I should put this with the listening that's changed is we do not sell to customers anymore. It is not about the sale. It is not about sell, 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 unless you're Harvey Norman with the catalog, which you're not, right? So we want to communicate. We want to communicate how good we are. We want to communicate what we do. We want to communicate our skill, our range, our unique qualities. We want to communicate all these things. So when we communicate and answer the questions and answer the problems that customers have, they connect with us and they will buy from us when we have that communication down pat. You are not your ideal customer. This is a fundamental thing. Stop saying, I wouldn't buy that. I'm my customer. You're not your customer. You might be one segment of your customer, but there's a whole marketplace of customers out there. So there's all different things. Your customer is the person that buys that item. So please remember, you are not your ideal customer. You may be a segment. You are not the whole thing. So reframe this into my customers do not, reframe this sentence. This is the other thing. You are not your customer and my customers don't shop online. If I can't tell you how many retailers say that. Oh, my customers don't shop online. Yeah, they do. 90% of people shop online. Your customer's buying something online. Or the customers you don't know about are shopping online. This is your new thinking. The customers I know are comfortable shopping with me without a website. So the ones you know don't shop online with you, but there's a whole world. So reframe that old phrase into this new thinking. Oh, so this is, I'm going to just go through the 7 points. This is my book. I'm updating it because the internet, which is the last part, isn't updated. But I identified 7 powerful ways to boost retail profits because there's 7 core pillars to focus on. So let's go through them quickly. The first one is marketing. Marketing this is what we're talking about, right? This is all customer service. It's all the communication. It's that finessing that we put over the top of our business once we've got our business sorted to bring customers in. The next one is, so this is the other, systems and procedures. Boring? Boring. I'm a marketer. I'm a creative. I hate systems and procedures, but without them, we're doomed. So get things systemized, write things down. If you don't have time to sit and do a Word doc, do it in your notes on your phone or write down the steps in your business, especially if you employ people or if you have people working with you. Get it down so you can share it. Stop relying on, I've got to tell you, that's got to be dusted. That's got to be open. That's got to be ordered. Automate, automate, automate. Because remember, that's also a digital thing that is really easy to do. We can automate certain things. So automate your business, systems and procedures, get them into place. Number 3 is staff training and leadership. Oh my God, I can do a whole webinar just on this, right? Be the person that you want your staff to be. Train your staff to serve customers. You've got to lead by example, but you've also got to train the right people. This is so, so vital. I just won't stop talking about it. Number 4, so important. Customer and customer service, which we're covered and we're covering through this talk. But again, see, this is in order of appearance too, guys. So I suppose marketing is the most important because it finesses, but get these 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 around to really focus on products. So see how customers is before products for a reason, because we want to know who our customer is. Then we want to get them some products. Back in the day, it would have been around the other way. So your product range is so important. Visual communications, VM, which is what pictures are in social, right? But visual merchandising in your store as well. How you get your customers in, what your windows say, how you drag them to the store, what your register looks like, how easy it is to move around the store. All of that is so important. And 7 is internet. Back then it was called internet, online. Now it's digital. But this is, so we bring this all back in after we've done everything else. This is what we do to get people in. It is not the core business. So that's just quickly going into that. If you want to know more about the updated book, which should be finished in about 3 months and available, just sign up to my newsletter or sign up on my website. It's all about me. So let's look at today's customer. We all know this customer because we talk to them every day. It is all about them. It's all about me. It's all about me. So they're saying to you, it's all about me. So you have to act that way. They have the power because they now have choice. They didn't have choice before. They now have choice. And why do they have choice? Is because they are connected. So this is the big thing. The world is their oyster. They are confident and they are in charge. This is why they have choice, because they now can go find it. So really remember this, the phone, the computer, The internet is their way to the world. So you need to get into that slipstream. I love that picture. Now, remember I showed you this picture before. We don't need to go through it again, but see, now I've put the customer in the middle because they are the omni shopper in the omni channel. So they are still in the middle and connected to you through all those fingers. So you understand if you're not in any of those places, they're not going to find you. So I want you to know this is what they do. Today's connected customer: research, shop, promote, share, connect, create, join, use tech, review, play games, compare, book things. Like they do all of this in the digital space on their phone, right? Like most of us do that on their phone. Even my bad eyesight, iPhone 14's fixed that because I can see everything on my phone. So this is what they're doing. This is what they do. So don't tell me your customer doesn't shop online. They do something online. So understand this is the whole, so you can go into the part. They're fun, the connected customer. You can find them in more places. And this is a really big thing. I really want to see more communication around these sort of things, is that this is what is important to customers today, very much, especially if they're buying online, physical. Remember, face-to-face, we have a lot more control. Sustainability, ethical sourcing, ethical buying, ethical disposal, recycling, cost of living, of course. The planet is getting more and more important because we're killing it, and the living wage. So that's where we're talking about fast fashion. All of those things are really important to today's customer. So if you're selling something that has a component of repair or replace, really focus on repair, or hand it back in. When it's finished, bring it back to us and we'll take care of it carefully and we'll take care of it responsibly. Like, there really needs to be that continuation. We're seeing a lot of, you know, you can now rent clothes, rent things so you don't have to own it. So the customer wants to own less. And I've been saying this definitely for the last 5 years, is that the kids in their teens now are not going to buy what we bought in the quantity. So what does that look like for you? Do you have that repair, reuse component of your business? Do you have, yes, you can buy this, but you can also rent this? Like, really think about how that looks in your business and how you can hook into that activity and satisfy that need. See, another one. So this is my big thing. No more B2C, no more business to consumer, no more business to business, because the customer acts the same. It's all business to people, because the customer acts the same now, whether I'm in business or whether I'm not in business. Sorry, I've got to zoom through, you guys. I know I'm taking too long to go through each point, but really think about, who is my customer? Whether I'm a bank, a church, a shop, a university, I interact with every business the same. So I act like a consumer. All communication is your secret salesperson. So think about this when you're putting things together. Who is your secret salesperson? It is anything that you put in that space. They are selling something, informing something, sharing something. They are your, imagine if you sent a staff member out to do something, what do you want them to do? So think about, how is this telling the customer who I am? How is this telling the customer to buy from me? How is this telling the customer how fantastic I am? How is this talking about my service? So really focus on that secret salesperson, not just communication. I love this. I'll put this slide up so on my social so you can read it properly. But in different social media, so this is where we're talking about communication, same product, different message, different platforms. So on Facebook, you go, I like donuts. This sort of made me hungry, this picture. Snapchat, which is like dead. But anyway, here's a short, which is sort of TikTok as well. Short video with my donut. On TikTok, we say, I dance and sing with my donut. On Twitter, I'm eating a tasty donut. YouTube, I'm watching a donut video. Instagram, here's a photo of my donut. Reddit, discuss your love for donuts. LinkedIn, my skills include donut eating. Pinterest, here are the boards of all my favorite donuts. So every platform, we're talking about donuts, but we're doing it in a different way that suits that slipstream. Remember, you're sliding into the stream of where the customer is. It's made me hungry now. I haven't had breakfast. It's another. Always reply to your customer. Please, 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 please. Always reply. If somebody leaves you a comment or a message or shares something, thank you. Remember what we said at the beginning, slide 7, manners. It's all down to manners. If you are not in the social space where your customer is, or the digital space, sorry, and they are talking to you and you don't reply, they will talk about you. This is really important to understand. If you are not there, they will talk about you. If they are not talking to you, which you don't want them to talk about you, want to talk them to you. Never say we don't reply to messages here. Oh my God, does that do your head in? You can write that in the comments. Does that do your head in when a business goes, please don't message us here, we don't reply to. Do you know what I do? I unlike them. I unfollow them. Oh my God, how rude. I'm here. I want to talk to you. I can't even. Or sometimes I'll like message you back like 3 weeks later and you're like, dude, passed on. And you now, I think, got a little bit of flavor for my passion. I do tell people, I'm like, sorry, lost sale. Or I tell them where I went. Please don't ever do that. If you're not going to talk to your customer in a place, don't be there. That's better. It's better for you not to be there than to ignore them. Got me headed up. Always, that's a two-way conversation. Ask first, talk second. Remember, we have our ears, we listen to the reply. So ask first, then reply. What do you think of this? We've got this. What do you think of that? Do you like this? Have you used it? Then listen to the reply and have the conversation. It's two-way. This is our communication loop. This is so important. Customer talks, you listen, you act, you feedback, they reply. See? Starts with the customer. So important. And then you start again. They reply, which is they talk, you listen, you act, feedback, reply. Listen, act, feedback, reply. So please think of this in a loop. I'll do this as a little graphic and you can have it in our follow-ups. Thank you. Picture is 1,000 words. This is simple, right? We all know this. So make your pictures beautiful. We want the customers to have that 1,000 words. Beautiful setting. Where do I get it? It evokes a mood. If you're going to take a picture of a single product, which is okay for your website, don't put a single product with no background in your social because that's a website picture. So really think about how do you communicate with your picture? What 1,000 words do you want them to know? This is, again, online blueprint. And so many of these social media sites have changed and I need to update this, but I want you to think about this. Your store, remember we saw the omni-channel? So this is the omni-channel sits into this, our online blueprint. So your store is in the middle and we have our blog, we have our video sharing, geolocational, we've got our reviews, we've got bookmarking, social media and podcasts, we've got photo sharing, we've got connecting and communicating. We've got all those things that go around. But all roads must come to you. Everything must link back into the store or your website or both. So if you don't have a physical store, then put it all back to your website. But this is all digital and physical roads need to lead to Rome. That's harder to say than I thought, easier to type. So all your packaging, so all your digital, show me where the store is, bring me back into the store. All your newsletters, bring me back into the store. All your packaging, put your address and your phone number and your social links. Get a self-inking stamp or a stamp that you go with ink. Simple, print out labels. That's what we used to do. Print out labels and put them on bags and things. All your promotional material needs to come back to your store. Don't send people back to your socials. Your social space is your rental space. You are a tenant in social media. And if you want, half those websites in that previous picture are gone. So if you were doing all your business in there and that website and that social media site shut down, what's next? So this is the other thing too, is use Google Place page. I hope all of you have a Google Place page. What can your customers see and learn about your business online when they are near you? And this is what your Google Place page gives you. This is so important that if you build this, then that little tool comes around. Every business needs a website. Get digital, get a website. Every retailer must have an e-commerce website. Not only a website, it needs to sell to the customer. That's number one. Do not sell to the customer because that's also bad manners. Here I am, but you can't buy from me unless you come into my store. That's converted as bad manners in the customer's head.
And if you're looking for hints and tips on that, go back and watch Kelly's session from a few weeks ago on e-commerce and get some hacks. I remember listening in as a small business owner myself going, yes, yes, yes. I'm now adding those to the insights today from you. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Tracy. I think that's excellent. Like, you don't need to get really complicated either. If you don't have an e-commerce website to begin with, then there's little steps you can do. And I've got my last blog is I actually put that how to sell without a website digitally, but really get your website sorted, folks. So important. Showcase your store, bring the customers into your unique space. Again, don't show that one item, show that item in your shop. You open your doors every day. You pay rent, you pay staff. Bring people into your business. This is the other thing too. So many pictures you look at and you go, but what does your shop look like? What are you doing in your store? Get me excited because there's so many people who are only online. So really think about how you can differentiate your way into that space. Bring me into your store. So like, it's so important. Feel the fear and do it anyway. This is the thing. You know, my big thing with AI, like up until about 3 months ago, I was like, I don't even want to know. I'm too old. By the time that all kicks in, I won't even be working. This is not my normal thinking, folks. I'm not a big techie, but you know what? I've dived in and I'm loving it now. And Gavin Heaton, you're my AI guru. Now, do you remember that? Does anybody know the net? Everybody's probably too. I want you to think about this. In 1995, we saw this movie. Sandra Bullock books an airline and a cruise on the internet. And I remember thinking, ridiculous. Never going to book anything online. What a joke. Anyway, 1999, I booked a plane online. So I just want you to realize there was a time when all of that was too scary, but we've got to dive in. Here's your digital basics, right? You want a website? If you sell, go Squarespace. If you don't sell, go WordPress. Email comms, MailChimp has a free package up to 2,000 names. Photo editing, Canva is my best friend. I'm a paid member, but you can use it for free. And social media, there are all your sites. So get into the basics and then start to play. And don't forget to connect them all. We're nearly there, folks. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Oh, I'm a bit stuck. Hello? Oh, okay, there we go. So I wanted you to see that not every retailer has a store. So this handsome man is my fiance. We've been together 10 years, so you know, my husband. But when I started to get to digital with him, he was like, what a waste of time. I've been bricklaying for 20 years. What are you doing? I can definitely tell you this enhances our business a lot, our digital tools. And it sets us apart from our clients, right? A lot of the builders are like, they look forward to if I haven't sent out a newsletter, they're like, hey, Jace, where's Nancy's newsletter? They really, and I put a lot of different things in there, but I just want you to see if you sell a service or a product, you are a retailer. If you're an accountant, you are a retailer. If you're an insurance broker, you are a retailer. Because remember what I said to you, business to people. The consumer interacts with you the same. React, change, and evolve fast. It's so important. Just do it fast, forget the perfect, and do it and then refine it. It's so important. Connect to potential and current customers. Just think, where are they? At the moment, I'm hearing a lot of people are on Instagram. I'm going to go there. Engage your senses, visual merchandising, taste where possible, emotional connection, scent, touch, sound, music. Use all these in your physical retail place because the more senses you use and connect with the customer, the more connected you'll be. Because as a human being, we are programmed to connect to our 5 senses. So use these in your store. Show your customer a lot of love. Make them the star in your communications. Remember I said to you before, take a picture of them and go, hey, this is my customer in the store. If you do that and I see my picture on your page, I'm going to share it because it's all about me, right? So I'm going to share that with my friends and they're going to see me in your business and you're going to get in front of more eyeballs. So if you show the love, they will show you the love. But make your customer the star. If that's your focus, then your actions will come with that more easily. Ask customers to share their love. So many people are embarrassed to do this. Please don't be embarrassed to do this. If I like you and I've forgotten to write a review, like I keep a notes thing of all the businesses I have to leave a review to. I'm always behind. But if somebody sends me a reminder, I'll go in and do that straight away. So ask for reviews, referrals, and suggestions. That's a really good thing too. If a customer says to you, I want this in blue, and you get it in blue, they are 99% chance of buying that because they asked for it. So remember, if you're a partner with your customer, then they will also show you that love. Nearly there. Thanks for the ride. Reskill and keep learning, which is what you're doing here, right? That's so important. This is the other, like, there's so many different tools. If you know the basics, you can reskill yourself all the time. I've been massively reskilling myself lately, and it's really got me back into it. But you have to really learn to love this part as a good business person, not just as a good retailer. So really try and find that passion. So remember the hippie store I told you about? This is from their shop. I love this picture. Have fun and be profitable. I'm sure everybody says it's the same, but you need to enjoy the business, but you need to make money. So really keep on top of all of that. And I mean, this is what we should do, right? Put our reindeer ears on and love what we're doing.
I have loved the reindeer ears, so much about the reindeer ears. And Nancy George, you are the reindeer ears. What a ride. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
I know from previous weeks that, yes, it's like drinking from a fire hose. And thanks for those of you viewers that have, like stayed the course. But working with someone like Nancy with retail expertise, but also boots on the ground practicality is what I really love, like absolutely phenomenal. The practical nature of it. And one of the things that I wanted to touch on when we were starting to talk about shaping up this particular episode was how much fun is happening in the digital to retail space. So I just wanted to pop in my little case study that was inspiring me at the moment, which is Hismile is an Australian oral care brand out of Mermaid Beach in the Gold Coast for incredible young people who are absolutely nailing it when it comes to understanding their brand, customer service, and what really matters. And they've been able to go from person to person, customer to customer selling, from B2C selling out into the real world. So from the website into installations like this Hismile brand experience that they had built. I know when they launched their latest special flavor, which had come about through customer feedback of what's the next flavor we should do, that there were queues through Martin Place that they had to get security guards to move people on. So even if you're listening and you're an online business, the magic moment of the touch, see, feel is really there. And so this week's Learn Along is actually about the shopper love. And so we attempted to capture some of the most delicious points of Nancy's talk today to provide a little bit of a canvas for you. So for those of you that have downloaded this morning's mail out, here's an example that I had filled in about being a boutique clothing store. So I would go on, okay, Nancy said to me, where are my customers? Let's have a think. Where are they hanging out? And so for this particular customer, it was Instagram and Pinterest where they were going to get some inspiration. And I then thought, I could grab the persona canvas from week 1 and update it because now I've got a little bit more insight about my persona. And then I went, okay, Nancy said, engage the senses. So what are the things that I could do in my store? So I decided that we were actually going to think about scent and colors. And I thought that we might use some diffusers to make it smell beautiful. But also with the online store, I took that advice about how do I actually take that seasonal, fashion pace and update our web experience. Then I started to think about the value exchange. So if you remember again in the persona canvas where we talked about what are the goals and the objectives and the pain points that they were trying to resolve when it came to shopping, they wanted to get sustainable clothing. So that point that Nancy made about what's the recycle, rewear proposition, but also how could we personalize what we were doing for them? So I looked at maybe I might introduce a loyalty program. Maybe I might introduce a rebuy proposition. And then came the practical bit, which was resources. Okay, so if this is the customer and this is how I'm trying to drive shop at love, what am I actually going to need to spend money on to make it work? And the reality is I'm going to need to give some training to the staff, and I need to make sure that our web navigation is updated. And one of the things I noticed was that there was a gap between the retail and the inventory. So that also needed to be improved. And then the share piece. Now, one of the things that I was inspired from was the avert, like actually ask people to ask if they can share. And when you watch those digital brands cross into retail and what we used to call phygital, but from the physical space, or we'd call it clicks and mortar, that you're both with a mouse and a brick and mortar store. Digital brands that come into the real world are exceptional at encouraging social media engagement. And really thinking about what is it that's going on in that pop-up that's going to generate even more buzz and sharing. So this is an example of how you might use the Learn Along canvas when you go and do the playback, when you sit down again with Nancy's webinar and you listen. I hope that that's really helpful for everyone. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to open up the Q&A. So we've got a little bit of time left before the hour, and I know that there's some very cool questions. So the way we're going to run this is I'm actually going to grab some of the questions from the Q&A, and then I'm going to pass them over to you, Nancy.
Sure thing. That was great, Tracy. Thank you for that, that worksheet. That was really, that crystallizes it beautifully.
You're welcome, and thank you. I am a huge fan of customer service as the first line of defense. So this is a bit of fun and old school manners. Yes, please. I am going to pick a question here from the Q&A. Thank you so much, Amanda. So Amanda is predominantly online, but also has a small shop in an industrial area. Most of the click and collect orders don't even know that she exists until the order goes in. And her business is in a locked gate complex, which could be deterring for any customers. Have you got any suggestions or novelty reasons to come and visit? She specializes in eco-friendly children's store. So I'm going to pass that over to you for some ideas, Nancy. How could Amanda encourage folks to come and visit her in an industrial estate?
Okay, Amanda,
what's your advice?
Well done for eco-friendly children's wear. So important. Again, it's just, you do have a physical store, even though you're predominantly online. You have your physical space, so you still can create that magic and touch. Click and collect, again, I couldn't go deep, but this is such a good way, if you are only digital, to connect with the customer, right? So if you are click and collect, so I buy Herbie's dog biscuits from Bearded Hound. I met them at Watson's Bay markets. Sometimes I buy online, but I prefer to go and pick it up, and they do markets all over Sydney, or you can go into their warehouse. So when you have click and collect, it's such a good way to meet your digital customer, even if you haven't seen them before. So really use that as your way to reward your customer for coming in. And with click and collect, give them a little information sheet or a little bit of a gift, and have a little talk to them. Now, if you're saying that most people don't know about click and collect till they get to the end, then that's what your communication piece has to be about. Did you know I have click and collect? You can save packaging because you're eco-friendly, you can save money, and you can come in and get it. The only thing is, we're behind these times. This is when you can pick up. Sorry about that. Just, you are what you are. Don't even say sorry. You can pick up between these times because we're in a secure space. That's how it is. You see it as a deterrent, I understand, but don't even bring that to the customer's attention. So just really focus on that. If you come in and pick it up, then you can connect with them. Put vignettes and do some really clever little things around your product in your space, in your warehouse space, and share that then online. Maybe think about going, and this is a good one for, I should have sort of said this up front, apologies to only the online stores. You still have a space, right? You have a warehouse space, and we were just online. Well, when we're wholesale, I had a little showroom that I created all the magic in and used that to photograph to then send to my retailers. So you do that as well, really excite them. And think about, if you're only online, to the His Smile example, is that, sorry, Hi Smile, I keep doing that, is do little pop-ups or do little meet and greets, go to a local market, do somewhere where you can touch base with customers, because I think that's really healthy when you're e-commerce, because it gets you out of your headspace and it gets you out of the customers that always find you to maybe plug into some different customers. So I hope that helped.
That was really awesome. I actually have this 2 or 3 of you who are asking very similar questions. So pardon me. I'm going to say kia ora, thank you, Kate, Carla, and many others who are services-based businesses, or they don't necessarily have physical products. They're asking for some advice around how might we showcase how we actually care for our customers. So how do we actually share that story if we don't have, a tangible product? What's some ideas if that's our situation?
I love that question. That's good, right? Because that's to Jason's point, to JP Brickwork. You are skilled in what you do. Now, you're not going to like this answer a little bit probably, because I don't actually like video of myself. I like to talk to people. I don't like to see it all later. But take a video, tell me what you know. And because when we're service-based, we do rely on that personal interchange. So yes, a blog post is good. Yes, a newsletter is good, but a talking head is even better. So do some videos and show your skill. This is why you should do this. This is what I did for a client. If a client lets you film them, film a happy client, but try and use video as much as you can. And I said a picture is worth 1,000 words, then a video is worth 1,000,000. Need to add that slide in. So think about bringing yourself to life digitally to connect with your customer. That's a really, you will be shocked how easy and quick it will be to connect with people, and use it everywhere, right? Put it on your website, then put it into your, do a blog post about it, put it on your homepage, put it into your socials. Try and keep that sort of uniform as well, because when people like something somewhere, they'll look for it somewhere else, and it reinforces it for them. And then put it in your newsletter as well. But yeah, just tell me and use the beautiful digital highway to connect with me.
And I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to connect to one of the other questions, which was around how do I make my online presence feel more personal and trustworthy? Online video, tell your story, help me get to know you, and then being in the physical domain as well as the digital domain. Step away from the shop, click and drop, and actually let me see that there's a real human with a real story and a real motivation. I've got a good question now, and this is, how can a small shop like ours adapt to new customer expectations without breaking the bank? So I think often we get what should we prioritize? How do we respond?
So the first thing is, I'm assuming you don't have a website. So I'm just going to assume you don't have a website first, because can be a bit sort of daunting. Is pick where your customer mostly is, Facebook or Instagram maybe, and start to put some products and start to have a conversation with them around that. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've got. Make your physical space beautiful. Oh my gosh, guys, the biggest thing too is connect with your neighbors in your street, right? Your physical space is your community. Online people, if you're probably in an industrial area where you've got a whole lot of businesses around you, connect with your community, be part of a group and a bigger sort of ethos and energy, pick up your energy in that way. But your neighbors become your customers as well, and people will tell people about you. So, okay, small budget, I get it. Maybe pick one product. A new product would be a good thing, or a new season, or Mother's Day, Christmas. Pick something and then make a bit of a song and dance about that. Use your pictures, use your Facebook page or your Instagram account, both if you can. There would be the two that I would dip my feet in, but ultimately budget for a website. That's where your road has to lead. But start little. Again, I mentioned that how to sell digitally without having a website on my blog. I think it's the last one or the second last one. Just have a look there. There's some really good tips and hints in there as well. But you have to get into it. You have to get started. So start to take pictures and share, and pictures and tell. People are coming into your shop all the time. You're in a shop, aren't you? So then talk to them. Where are you guys going? I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Or ask a customer who's really savvy and digital and clever. Ask them to help you with how to get started and what do they think. Most customers would be so happy to do that. I obviously do that because I can't help myself. But you'll find those little places just to get started. Don't think about it as budget dollars. It's budget time, because you need to invest the time to learn it. Does that help, Tracy?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think one of my wee tips, get out your persona sheet. When your customers do come through that door, have a conversation with them. So where else do you shop?
Yep.
Because customer expectations are formed by customer experience. And so one of the things that I notice is that when you understand where else they're going and what their little ecosystem looks like, you can actually see who's leading that expectation and change. And set yourself a little shopping day where you go out and you pretend that you're your customer for the day and go exploring, go hunting. If you're lucky, get on a plane and go and see other environments, or dip into the feed of people like Nancy, who are obsessed with retail and shopper environments all around the world, and peek and see what her inspirations are. I think there's some incredible things happening in retail and store design. Spend the afternoon at Westfield and see all of the money that's being poured in and see what little ideas you might steal. Sound, scent, music, so on and so forth. Thank you so much today, Nancy. What an amazing session.
Thank you,
I
Lenore.
am so grateful for the nuggets. Thank you, Lenore, for giving everyone the updates and directing them to the resources. We are almost wrapping up for today's session. Next week, this time next week, we'll be joined by the incredible Claudia, who's going to talk about diversity and establishing inclusive workplaces. So if that is something that you are motivated to create change, or you're grappling about how you deliver incredible customer service with diverse humans, you are going to find a huge amount of benefit by tuning in again. I wanted to take the opportunity to also acknowledge the City of Sydney and Business Connect for the support of programs like this. I think that it's been an incredible few sessions so far, and I'm very excited to see what the next few weeks of content will bring. If you can, I would love you to fill in the survey that Lenore's dropped into the chat, because I am customer obsessed and I want your feedback so that we can make each week even better and better. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, and have an amazing week ahead. Look forward to some feedback. See you soon. Ta-da.